This is your show. So ready when you are.
Thanks. All right, let's. I hope we don't soft lock. So.
All right.
All right, so I'm ready with a timer. You guys ready?
All right, so
I
ready?
hear nothing. Are we good to go with the? Okay. So I'll give you a countdown.
Countdown.
All right, 3, 2, 1,
go.
All right.
Yeah, I was looking forward to this one.
So first thing we do here, tutorial. We can't skip it, so we got to get these done as fast as possible. If you can't read Japanese, she's just telling me to do basic stuff like jumping. She's going to ask me to jump 3 times, so I'm going to go here. Fastest way to get out 3 jumps. And now she's asking me to, she's explaining like grinding and spraying graffiti and all that. So I'm just going to grind this here. Whoops. So the thing about this tutorial is that it's not grinding a rail, it's time spent like on a rail. So just grinding is not enough. You need to spend a certain amount of time on it. So, and I started grinding late on the rail, so I didn't grind long enough, but that's okay. So now she's explaining picking up cans and all that. So there's your cans. Yellows are worth 1, blues are worth 5.
I started a new playthrough recently because I haven't played the game in a long time, and I wasted so much time on the tutorial. I realize now because I haven't watched your. I wanted to discover the speed strats for this game when you were running it, but damn, even the tutorial optimized this much. I didn't realize.
Yeah, I mean, you play through it every time you start to run, so you gotta make it as fast as possible.
And that's our boy, Roll Boy.
That's our boy, yeah. It's the last time we're gonna be seeing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is DJ Professor K, baby, the master of mayhem. Know what I'm saying?
Put up my
Bring
notes.
another Tokyo Underground pilot radio broadcast from Jet Set Radio. I'm gonna bust into your head through your cute little ears and blow your mind.
Yeah, not the last time we'll be seeing this guy because cutscenes are not skippable in this game.
Please should keep those tissues handy, suckers.
And we're on the Japanese version, but the cutscenes. Most of the voice acting is in Japanese, but this guy and another NPC are in English. Why? Who knows? I guess they got this guy and they're like, we can't do any better, so we're just gonna put him in every version.
I think it was to give it more of an underground vibe, actually. Having a foreigner voice, the radio host, Ripbox, press F to pay respects.
So there's a few things I should explain in terms of going fast. So you have your standard speed of skating, which is pretty slow. We don't really want to do that as much as possible. So there's grinding, which is fast. You can also spend 10 cans to boost dash, which is conventionally the fastest form of movement. The problem with that is it costs 10 cans, and you also need cans to spray graffiti, which is the whole point of the game. And if you don't have enough cans,
dash and you jump, you keep your speed, right?
So the thing about jumping in this game, trick jumps, which jumps that if you're going high enough speed, you'll do a trick. Those are actually pretty slow because every time you do a trick jump, you lose speed. So if you need to travel a large distance, then you need the trick jump. You don't have a choice. But it's actually better to slow down a bit and then short hop, and that'll actually be faster in the long run. So and then one more thing about speed that I want to explain is that you're going to see me doing something called the shuffle, which is I click in the left thumbstick here, and it's going to look like they're grinding on the ground. The thing about this movement is that it puts you in a state where your speed decreases much more slowly than normal. So when we're coming out of a heightened state of speed, like boost or a grind, I'm going to shuffle, and then we're going to stay at that high speed for longer, and then it's going to decrease much slower than if I just skated normally. So you're going to be doing, like, I could short off here. That's a shuffle. So yeah, and there's the speedometer, like at the bottom right hand, the bottom right corner of the screen. If you want to go, if you want to know exactly how fast I'm going.
Someone done stole the goddess of the streets.
Yeah, DJ Professor K is explaining the story, which means absolutely nothing.
Cover Dogenzaka Hill and graffiti and flush out those rumor-spreading scumbags.
Alright. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to go over here and get this here graffiti soul. Now you might be wondering, well, this is 80%, why are we collecting graffiti souls? There's actually 2 points in the game where you need a certain amount of graffiti souls in order to progress. So at the end of chapter 2, you're going to need 25, and at the beginning of chapter 7, we're going to have 40, and we start with 20, so there's 20 graffiti souls we're going to have to collect during the course of this run. Use a shuffling out of a boost to keep my speed. It's a good example of that. There's our first graffiti. So there's a few other things about movement that I should probably explain. The first is something called the quick turn, which is this right there. You see how I change my direction very quickly? It's really hard to explain how to do it, but basically we're skidding to a halt, but before we lose our speed, we change our direction out of the skid. So we're basically changing directions very quickly, but we're not losing any speed. There's another one. That's really, really important movement for maneuvering these around these levels the fastest way possible. Another shuffle. Hopping also preserves your speed because you can't really lose speed while you're in the air. There you go.
Time to flush out those rumor-spreading punks. Give them my regard.
So this is our first unlockable character of the game. We don't ever use him, so just ignore him.
Yeah, so basically that guy's talking crap about you and your gang.
Yeah.
And you just follow him around, and at some point he's like, oh, you're cool. Like, I'll hang out with you guys. That's basically what he does.
Yeah. He's like, I bet you can't do this, and then he jumps twice, and then he's like, wow, you're really good. I'm gonna join your gang.
Yeah, he goes like, you're pretty good.
Yeah. So one thing I collected there was something called a mystery tape. Usually you wouldn't see them at 8%. There's one in every level, and they unlock additional graffiti souls if you're trying to 100% the game. The reason why we got that one in particular is because it's actually faster to get that tape, do the challenge to unlock the soul, and then get the soul, rather than go out of your way for a 20th graffiti soul. So that's going to go towards our 20 graffiti souls to beat the game. This is the challenge. I just unlocked it. It was 3 air combos. Just gonna mash through this.
Yeah, this is a save point basically what just appeared. And
Yeah.
for the sake of information, the song that's playing right now is called Funky Dealer.
Yeah. By your boy Hideki. So now we're racing this guy. A good time is like a 121 or 122. That's if I don't screw up. If I screw up, I'll get a 123, and that's very embarrassing. Oh, I should also explain why we use certain characters. So right now I'm Yo-Yo, which is the character you start as, and I'll be doing chapter 1 as him. From chapter 2 up till chapter 8, which is near the end of the game, I'll be using Gum. The reason why we use Gum for the majority of the game is because she has really good cornering, and that's really good for movement. It's by far the most important stat in the game in terms of going fast. The reason why we don't switch to her immediately, instead of the reason why we're putting up with Yo-Yo's crappy cornering for the first chapter of the game is because when you switch characters, that was slow. When you switch characters, you lose all your cans. But if the game gives you an option to switch characters instead of going into the menu yourself, you keep those cans. So we're going to finish chapter 1, and then the game's going to ask us to switch characters, so that way we can switch the Gum and keep our cans. It's a little weird, but I think at 123, so that's good.
You got a quick 120?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So now the cops are coming, and we're going to have to spray them in the face. This is the main form of combat in this game. Oh, I didn't finish explaining characters. So chapter 8, we're going to be playing as Clutch, who we're going to unlock in chapter 7. The reason why we're playing as Clutch is because he holds more cans, which is really good for the end of the game, but I'll explain more about that when we get there.
And do some serious artwork.
So this is a cop fight. Cop fight's pretty simple. We grab cans and we spray them in the face. I would like to end with 30. And I will be there. Cool.
Oh, that was a really good fight.
Okay, I got hit by a car twice. So
has been covered in some kind of
I'm going to avoid a soft lock here by waiting for this tech box.
that stuff up with some real artwork,
It's a bit slow, but I'd rather not. I'd rather the game not soft lock. I would gladly give up 2 seconds so that I can actually do my speedrun.
This is Shibuya Terminal, the city's biggest non-stop dance party. Let's hit this joint and cover up that.
Oh yeah, by the way,
freaky-looking graffiti.
we don't save at all during this run, so if I die,
Damn! It's Poison Jam!
hopefully I don't die.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's not. I have a backup save in chapter 6, but
the ones behind all this?
Because then I guess you would be in a jam, a poison.
yeah, a poison jam. So if I do this graffiti route fast enough, I won't get hit by a car. It's pretty tight though, so we'll see if I get it. That means I'm behind because the green band was ahead of me. More quick turns here. That was slow. Okay, I'm gonna wait for the buses so I don't get sandwiched. These are the double buses. It's faster to wait for them than to try and YOLO and get hit. Not bad. So now Poison Jam is here, and just like Beat in the previous level, they're going to do some challenges, and we're going to copy their movement, and that's going to intimidate them enough to run away. That's how most conflict is resolved in this game, I guess. That's exactly what they said.
Yeah, that's poison jamming
Yeah.
right there.
You saw that Japanese text that was just like
That They go like or
Oh, I guess I should explain why we're on the Japanese version. So, like most speedruns, Japanese is faster. But this game is actually a bit more complicated than that because the dialogue is faster, yes, but a lot of skips in this game require you to do a certain objective and then escape a trigger zone. And trigger zones usually become active when the dialogue ends. So the dialogue actually being faster actually makes the run a lot more difficult because you have less time to do everything you need to. But it saves like, I think 2 minutes over the English version, I'm not sure. But all that time save is at the end of the game cutscenes. There's actually cutscenes in Japanese that take a lot longer than the English versions, which is a little weird. But overall, it's faster in Japanese. So yeah, we scared them, so they're gonna run away. And now this guy's gonna show up.
It's combo time.
I was actually thinking of a donation incentive to play as him for the rest of the game. But I actually...
as combo?
Yeah, but I actually tested it, and it's way too difficult. I could not do it.
He's slow, right?
His cornering is absolutely atrocious, and especially later on in the game, you need like Gum's cornering to even
And like the
do
skyscraper
the strats.
district, I would guess. Oh god.
Yeah, especially a fortified residential zone, which is in Chapter 7. That's a lot of really sharp turns and a lot of like curving in the air that you need good cornering for. So yeah, we're just gonna skip that. This challenge works through checkpoints, and you might say that I'm cheating, but I am hitting all the checkpoints. So.
But where are the triggers that checks if you do the same combo as him?
Whoops. You don't have to do the same combo as him. Whoops, I screwed up. Shoutouts to the Xbox controller. So I have to go do this again. I would like cans. Do this again. Cool.
Yo, kid.
So as you can see, I just skipped the cutscene, and I did say that cutscenes are unskippable in this game. That's only true for the first time you watch them. But if you're doing a speedrun, you should only watch each cutscene once. There we go, that's what I'm supposed to do. And then you land in that quadrant there. I was accidentally holding left on my controller, so I jumped into the wall, and I didn't make the distance. So yeah, that's the first embarrassing mistake of the run, so here's to many more.
本部から各局、渋谷ターミナル付近で何者かがスケート走行しているとの通報あり、付近の局は現場へ急行せよ。繰り返す。
Yo, kid.
So yeah, the cops are coming again. You may have noticed a pattern with this game.
お前ら、ネズミ一匹しょっぴくのにいちいち呼びやがって、さっさとと捕まえろよ。
So this fight, I want to approach these groups of cops in a certain pattern, because I don't want to activate them too early, because they're always much easier to deal with when they're in groups like this. There we go. Cool.
The station feared and revered by both man and beast. Jet Set Radio, citizens of the underworld. This is your king speaking. Stop what you're doing and listen up. Seems that Poison Jam graffiti contains a lethal poison, makes people laugh themselves to death. They followed up their performance at Shibuya Terminal with encores at Chuo Street and in Rokaku Dai Heights.
The sneak peeks
Those
of the
Poison
levels
Jam
that
punks
were
got
about
as
to
much
visit.
attitude as
Yeah,
they
Rokaku Dai Heights.
Yeah.
That area, man.
Poison Jam has been heating up the streets.
It's a lot of
with
fun in
their
a speedrun,
rivalry with the queens of
because there's a
99th
lot
Street.
of Crocodile Heights is very vertical.
That's very
So,
vertical. That's the thing. Like,
yeah.
like the two main sections are really separated by like one long grind to the
Yeah.
second area. Yeah.
Out there in the streets, they
Yeah.
might slip you some
So yeah, a lot of levels that are pretty tedious
And
in a
then
casual playthrough
there's
are really fun in a
Hayashi.
speedrun because there's
Rokaku police
usually a
force's
jump you
own
can do
personal
to
version
skip large parts
hell
of
on
it.
earth.
Well, Feral
even his
Park
own
has a lot of
partner's
jumps,
afraid of
right?
him.
Yeah,
'Cause
Fair
when
Park
he
has a lot of
loses,
jumps and
there
it has a
ain't
lot
no
of death
telling who
orbs,
he'll
which
shoot.
are going to be
He's crazy.
seeing.
Check this out. Just the other day, he
That's
freaked out
Hayashi.
and
He's
trashed the patrol
the
car.
police captain, as you can hear.
And why, you may ask? Because one of his subordinates went to buy him his favorite mint candy and came back with coffee flavored instead. What's up with this fool?
Indeed, what is up with that fool? So now the game's gonna ask us to switch characters, which I will take advantage of. So now we're Gum and I have all my cans, so now we can be on our way.
Hey, crank up the volume and wake up the neighbors. Are you hearing this or what? Is your heart pounding with the beat?
So you can see the
Am I
benefit
getting
of
through to
shuffling
you?
there.
Show me
I
what you
cleared
got.
that huge
I'm
distance
counting on
pretty
y'all.
quickly because I stayed at that higher speed for longer.
This is Chuo Street, the heart of Tokyo's entertainment district. Now get out there and bury Poison Jam's nasty graffiti and paint.
Cool. So this is, you see this cop dialogue that's happening right now? The trigger zone for the cop fight isn't active until the dialogue ends. So I'm going to take advantage of this by getting rid of some graffiti. Oh, also, I made some custom graffiti. I hope you guys like it.
What?
I set up some custom graffiti that you'll be able to see now.
I just saw. I just realized that's cool, man.
That is not a part of the game. I am on a soft modded Xbox, and I can insert images into the game. So.
Yeah, sounds dope.
Yeah. That does not affect gameplay at all. It's just aesthetic. I am not a cheater.
I mean, major props for that, man. Like seriously, that's way cool.
Yeah, they are all from your website. I just saved them and inserted them.
Does it trigger randomly, or it's a specific graffiti that you replace?
So there's a tool made by one of the modders in the community. Shout outs to Neodos for making it. And basically, you can set up a connection to your PC from your Xbox using FTP. And using the program, you can replace each graffiti file individually. Oops, that was slow. So yeah, and because it takes a long time to go into the graffiti menu and change your graffiti to something you like, I just replace the default graffitis so they appear automatically, and I don't have to go into the menu. Oh yeah, you might have noticed that the cops are sending tanks after us now. That is not the worst they do. It gets much more ridiculous as the game goes on. And yes, you can defeat tanks using spray paint. This is a real life thing. Go on and try it yourself. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. You can knock this guy off the building and it will kill him instantly, but it's actually slower than just spraying him. Hope I made that good.
You got your face so.
I'm gonna wait for this car because it can absolutely body you and waste your boost.
Wow.
Here's the XL.
This is glorious, man.
There it is.
Is it only on Churro Street? Have I not been noticing since the first level? Or?
So because of some like weird shenanigans with how the game loads graffiti files, it only checks which graffiti you have when you open up Road Boy's menu. So in a speedrun, you only do that when you open up the character menu, which is automatic. And so that the first time that happens in a speedrun is in chapter 2.
The graffiti soul that was associated with these graffitis, is that it?
No, this is all this graffiti. Whoops, I wasn't supposed to boost there. All this graffiti is defaults. I just replaced the actual files in the game.
Oh, gotcha.
So these are the first graffitis that the game gives you. So I boosted where I wasn't supposed to, and that'll kind of screw up the route. So I need to get these extra cans here. So yeah, in chapter 1, you're going to see the default graffiti. Chapter 2 is the first time the game actually checks, oh wait a minute, they have graffiti that's not default. Or they might have graffiti that's not default. So now we're back here, and we're going to finish up this plaza here.
Good job!
Thank you, Prof. If you spray an extra large fast enough, DJ Professor K is going to say good job. It doesn't work on some graffitis though because it's programmed kind of weirdly, but on that one it's pretty easy because it's just a straight line. Cool.
Looks like those little beast dudes have arrived. Please don't feed the animals.
So the game wants us to race these guys. We're not going to do that. That's slow. We're just going to leave. They will be dancing there forever. So the reason why casually you would want to race these guys is to make them show up in the next level. And you're not supposed to be able to finish in the next level without making them show up because they knock down a gate that you need to get past. But there is a handy little skip that I'm going to do which completely bypasses that gate, so there's no reason to race them in the first place.
This is Rokkaku Dai Heights. and abandoned hills at times.
So this level has our first skips of the game. There are 2 cop skips and one, like, we call them in the community a WTF T-Paw, and that's a very unwieldy acronym that stands for where they forgot to put a wall. And we're going to be taking advantage of that to go through some walls. We're going to take care of the first half of this level here before we perform the skip. Say hi to Rift. We will not be unlocking her, sadly. I missed the shuffle. Alright, so here's where the skip is. It's called Gate Skip or Rip Skip. It has a few different names. Cool. And now we're going to go over here, and we're going to void here in this part of the level, and that's going to bring us beyond the gate. So that saves like 2 or 3 minutes. I forget how long the race in Chuo Street takes, but it saves that amount of time. Cool, so now we move on. This is the Sexy XL. So these armored cops, I need to boost into them before they take damage. Cool. That is not what I was supposed to do. Let's try that again. That's what I was supposed to do.
I'm trying to remember the name of this track. I think it's
called
Happies and Goodies. Oldies?
It's called Oldies but Happies.
Oldies but Happies.
Yeah. Oh my god, I missed it. When you go too fast, you miss graffiti, which is always fun.
Good job!
Thank you. So we're coming up to our first big cop skip. There's a tag coming up soon that the trigger zone for the cop fight is wrapped around the graffiti, but if you have very precise movement, you can just get the graffiti without stepping into the trigger zone. Here it is. Go around. Cool, and we just skipped a very long cop fight. The laggiest cop fight in the game because there's like literally 5 million cops, as well as Hayashi, so we just skipped all that. Everyone's favorite song is coming up.
Birthday cake. Yeah, it's birthday cake.
There it is. So the reason why we save this graffiti down here for last is because we can use it for a cop skip. Basically, when you complete a level's mission, in this case it's spraying all the graffiti, every cop fight despawns whether you've done it or not. There we go. So now the mission is done. There was a cop skip like back here, but it's not there anymore because I completed the levels mission. So we can just leave. Oops. Nice. Cool cutscene. That cutscene is telling you that you haven't raced Poison Jam yet, and you need to go back to Chuo and race them. But good, as obviously we went through the wall, which the game wasn't expecting. Now we're coming up to a really cool level called 99th Street. Not a lot of skips. There's one cop skip and one WTF T-pop, but most of it's just really cool movement, so good level.
Here is just one bloody showdown after another, because it's where the Mafia kingpins keep their offices. And there's been some bad stuff going down lately, ever since the mysterious power outage. And Rapper 99 seems to have made this their home. All right, my people, it's time to give 99th Street a new paint job.
So I'm going to do something called Quick Light. which is we're going to go through a wall and get to the first cop fight faster. It's a bit precise though. Cool. So now we're in I think the western part of the level. The level's split up into 3 sections, and there's a cop fight in the eastern and western sections. So for this cop fight, it's kind of weird. We're spraying these like searchlights that'll shoot you, but like it's just they pose no threat at all, even casually. So let's just make our way over and spray all 5 of them.
I believe you don't even have to grind up them. Like if you just jump and you time it right, you can actually spray the target.
Yeah, it depends on how they're angled because the angle changes whether depending if they see you or not. So, but like we don't even want to spend the time to get them to see us. We just want to like we just want to kill them as fast as possible.
Now I'm gonna do a Sega and say that I do not condone graffiti as vandalism, but that it is an art form. And if I ever see NoReset's logo downtown somewhere, like I know we've made it.
Going to do a cheeky little jump here.
But please, like don't do it. Do it, but don't do it. Like. Please.
Alright, so now we're in the plaza. There's a few graffiti up here. There's one good. And then we're going to do something that might look a little weird, but it actually skips the cop fight in the other part of the level, so it's really important. So we're going to reload the level, and the fastest way to reload the level is by switching characters. This is going to start some cop dialogue. And we're going to interrupt that cop dialogue with a cutscene. And that despawns the other cop fight, so we don't have to do it at all. Cool. We're going to go up here and grab some cans. Alright, and now we make our way over to the other half of the level.
You got a great song.
Alright, this one's tricky. You need to slow down a certain amount, or else you're gonna go way too fast and you're gonna miss it. I missed the... There's 5 cans there that if you get, you're like really swag, but I missed it. Really? Alright. And then the last part of this level is down this alleyway.
Poison Jam's worst enemy, Rapid 99, has been seen on 99th Street.
Alright, so since we have at least 25 graffiti souls,
Well, I guess
Rapid
it
99
just
is
takes
going to
a
show
little
up,
persuasion
and
to get
they're
info
going to
from
challenge
the
us
queen
to a
of
flag
99th
battle.
Street.
So, but first we have to get us to the tower. So the fastest way up the tower is something called Quick Dragon. You're supposed to grind a spiral, but you can just do this. And it's faster. Alright, so the thing with this flag battle is they have certain AI, and we can abuse that AI by letting them scramble for the first flag. We don't want it anyways. And we're going to make our way immediately to the second flag. And what that's going to do is that's going to cause their AI to go for the the third flag, which is at the bottom of the tower. Oh wait, no, they're going to go for the. They're going to try to go to the third flag. I'm going to get the third flag, and then they'll be very close to the fourth flag. They're going to get it, and then by that time, I'll already be at the final flag, and then it'll be over. That's the fastest way of doing this challenge. So I just collected the second flag. The third flag is up on the highway here. I'm going to grab it, and by this time, they're at the bottom of the tower. We're going to grab the fourth flag right there, and now I'm already on my way to the last flag. Cool.
Hopefully I didn't miss too much. Had a little audio issue to take care
Adding
of.
new dimension to your life every day in a stylish and funky
Yeah, it was just
way.
a flag
Jet
battle,
Set
you know,
Radio!
manipulating AI,
The
the usual
GGs
stuff.
defeated Rapper
That's all good.
99 and forced him to fess up about the whereabouts of Poison Jam's hideout. And wouldn't you know it,
So if
it's
you
in
play
the
this game
Tokyo
casually, you
Underground
probably remember
Sewer
this level.
facility. I hear the entrance is in Rokaku-dai Heights.
As you can see,
The
it's
sewers are as tricky,
pretty complicated. You got to spray some switches.
and twice as smelly. Who's funky,
Unless
y'all?
you boost
Careful not to
at the right
lose track
time
of the
and
exit,
jump and
or
hold
you'll be
right,
lucky for the
in which
master.
case you skip the whole level.
Huh?
So that's
You don't know what the
hopefully what I'll be
master
doing.
is. Oh, no
in a few
hurry.
minutes.
You'll be meeting him soon enough, whether you like it or not. Well, from what I heard, Poison Jam's got a boss, and anyone who can organize those fellas has got to be one mean dude. Probably loves fish, too.
Let's go! Ho! Ha-ha! Ho! Ha! All right! Ha-ha! Yeah! Ho!
Alright, so like I said, coming up is a skip called Sewer Skip. It skips the entire sewer level, so obviously I do not want to fail it. I missed the Zelda. It's really simple, but it's kind of sneaks up on you sometimes, and if I fail it, that really sucks. I'm going to have to do the sewers, which I really don't want to do.
Now
So
remember,
hopefully I get
the
it.
sewers are Poison Jam's home turf, and I don't think they like strangers up in their house, you know what I'm saying?
I could have safety saved, but I don't want to do it. Now we wait for someone to get us. We're basically waiting for a cutscene. So, fun fact: there's a skip you can do here. We'll clip through the gate and void out, and then you'll spawn up there. And
What? Can't get
theoretically,
out?
that
Did
would
Rapper
save
99
a
send
few
you to
minutes
the
because
door?
you don't have to do Garam's challenges, which I'm about to do. Unfortunately, it's only been done twice, and it has never been replicated. So that's a bit of a pipe dream right now. So
That's sad though, because that's a great skip.
it would be a great skip, and
So is that the holy grail of glitches that you guys are hunting right now, or?
it's certainly the biggest meme. But the thing about this skip is Sewer Skip, which I'm about to do, only works on certain versions of the game, and it only works on the combo disc version, which is what I'm running on right now. If you're on a PAL version, it's not going to work, sadly. But if you were to get this skip consistent, then that would be obsolete. You could use Sewer Skip on any version because you're doing a different method of Sewer Skip. But sadly, we can't do it right now. So yeah, super easy. Now for Sewer Skip, I'm going to actually focus and try not to miss it. I missed it in practice last night, so let's try to actually do it. Cool, I got it. And the gate doesn't spawn here, so I can just go into the next level, and I just skip the sewers. So that saves like 5 minutes.
Smells like Poison Jam. Their hideout should be around here somewhere.
Now we're going to do another clip to get to the boss room early. We're going to go backwards through the level. You're actually not supposed to go this way. So we're going to clip through this wall here.
So the gate hadn't spawned at that point yet?
The thing is, the gate only spawns during a certain cutscene, and that cutscene only happens when you talk to Garam. But I skipped over Garam's trigger. There's the clip.
Oh, yeah.
So,
There you go.
there you go.
Skip the trigger altogether.
Yeah. And yeah, just go through the wall to get to the boss room early. It's faster than just going around the level. So she's saying like, I'm the boss of Poison Jam, you're gonna have to fight my guys, blah blah blah. So I'm gonna attempt a quick kill here. You need to spray 3 of them, and they take 30 cans each, so cans are a bit tight here, so hopefully I don't screw up.
That's set up though.
Cool. This last guy is kind of RNG. His AI can screw up sometimes, and that'll leave you hanging, as they say. But it worked this time, so he's right here. Cool. Almost sub 40. If I didn't screw up that combo challenge in Chapter 1, this would have been sub 40, but still fine. Ouch. Okay, so
The station
we're
that's
entering the
so
second half of the
smooth,
game now.
your ears won't even know what hit.
We're entering
Jet
Chapter
set
4 now.
radio!
Chapter 4 is by far the
GG
hardest
penetrated
chapter
into
to
Tokyo
do
underground sewer
properly
facility.
because there's a
Crash
lot of
Poison Jam's
very
little
hard
sewer
skips,
posse.
including the infamous heli skip,
Boss Q
which we're
got
going to do
away, but it
in
was
Kibogoka
obviously
Hill
Poison
halfway
Jam
through the
kidnapped
chapter
the statue.
to skip the helicopters.
Why'd they go and do it?
But I'll get to that when I get to it.
Whoa! This just in.
Whoa.
GG's member, Yo-Yo, has just disappeared.
Oh my god,
No ransom note, no threatening phone calls, nothing. I mean, what's going on here?
crazy.
In other news today, the new team, the Noise Tanks, just arrived on the scene and are flexing some serious muscle.
He's just explaining the
Word
second
is
half of the
that
game and
Noise
the new
Tanks are a
gangs
bunch of
that we're going to
cyborgs.
face
They all
now that
got
we've taken care of Poison
mechanical
Jam.
bodies and whatnot. And the Immortals, who used to control the Skyscraper District, just got their butts handed to them by the Noise Tanks and had to give up their turf. The Noise Tanks are bringing one street team after another under their control, and pretty soon they're gonna be running wild all over the city. You gotta be a fool to think this ain't got nothing to do with Yo-Yo's little disappearance. Rough up those Immortals a little, and they might help you unravel this mystery.
Cool.
Get it?
Yeah, get it. Funny jokes here at NoReset Marathon. Alright, so I'm playing as Korn, and you might be wondering, why are you Korn? Well, for a certain trick I'm going to do in the next level, I'm going to have to reload the level again, like I did in 99th Street. And because the fastest way of reloading the level is by switching characters, I only want to switch characters once, because switching characters at an extra time to get back to Gum it wastes a second, and that's slow. So I take advantage of the
Just the
garage
other day,
menu
the
to
love shockers
switch
at
to
the
Korn
Bukake
immediately.
Street were mixing it up with
It
the
saves
Noise
seconds, but it
Tanks,
is optimal.
New Toadies, the Immortals. Let's go do something about all that ugly Immortal graffiti.
So I'm gonna try to do something called Quick Kage, and that is basically taking care of some graffiti before the cop fight starts. It's very difficult though, so I have to go very fast.
本部から各移動日陰通りで少年を発見日陰通り全域に緊急配備繰り返す林だ新型で出撃するぞ警部こいつはまだ無理です
Cool, I got it.
本部了解本部から
We're
各
gonna
移動
spray.
試作機が緊急出動目標地点は SHCOO2
Alright, so we're gonna take care of that after the cop fight. I was supposed to spray that, but then I fell. That's never happened before. I guess that's my marathon luck. It's okay. We're gonna take care of these cops here. We ended up with some good cans. Cool. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. So because I fell, I have to do it again. So hopefully I got it. Cool, I got it. Let's do the jump. Cool, I got it. That's what that's supposed to look like. So normally we would spray these and then fall into the cop fight, but whatever. Anyway, so now we just finish up this area and we get out of here. That's okay. At least I got to show it off twice. It's a really hard jump. It's like, I want to say frame perfect, but it's probably like 2 or 3 frames. This is the second area. Really? There we go. Wait for them to bunch up, and then we spray them. I think that's all of them. Yes. So we're going to take advantage of that crane here to get up to this level quickly. My control stick is being funny. I know I shouldn't John, but yeah, anyway. So yeah, a lot of this level was just movement and wrestling with the graffiti camera. The thing about this game is that every time you spray graffiti, the camera changes, just so that you can look at the beautiful art that you're spraying. The problem with this is that when the controls are camera sensitive, and when the camera changes, sometimes the controls can get reversed, and there's no way of telling like when it happens. It just happens, and then you're holding left where your character is going right, and you're like, what the hell? Why is this happening?
You got great soul.
So a big part about speedrunning this game is knowing the intricacies of the wonderful graffiti cam. And hopefully it doesn't make you give up on this game.
It's the Rokaku Police Special Terror. Looks like they're here to clean up all the garbage.
So the cops are sending a robot
Make sure you
spider
don't get
after
taken out
us
with the
because
trash.
we sprayed too much
Unload
graffiti.
that beautiful paint of yours. And those lifeless
Luckily,
machines.
it's very weak, so we're just gonna get some cans. That's not what I wanted to do. This area is also very, very laggy, so dealing with that is a bit of a pain. So we avoided those bombs. We're gonna load up on some cans here. Avoid these bombs, and it's a bit of a tricky jump. Cool, I think I got it. So as you can see, the health bar goes down really fast. There's only 3 places you have to spray. It only takes like 5 cans, so not that tough. Did I miss one? Of course I did. Cool, I got it. The important part is that I killed him without falling all the way back down. If you fall all the way back down, you have to climb back up, and that's why this level sucks.
Run away, little bugs. Go cry to your mamas.
Cool. Now this is the last bit of graffiti in the level, so let's clean this up. That's the graffiti cam acting up. She does not want to turn even though I told her to, so you need to be wary of things like that and be able to react fast enough. So at this point, I should start explaining the next skip because it's kind of complicated and very long. There's going to be some helicopters that I'm going to have to fight. But if you are fast enough and you go far enough into the level that you escape the trigger zone, then the helicopter fight never spawns. So the reason why we can't just do that is because there's actually graffiti in the trigger zone, and we have to take care of that, or else we can't skip the helicopters, essentially. So what I'm going to do is something called heli skip, and it's basically 3 minutes of basically perfect movement. If I screw up once, I probably failed it. The reason why it has to be perfect is because we're on Japanese and the text is faster, which means I have less time to do everything.
By the way, I don't know if it's been pointed out before. I would just like to point to the donation total that we have currently.
Yo, nice.
All the memes. All of them.
Let's not stare at it too long. Let's get some more donations in. But now that it's there, then we can admire it. All right, so I'm going to not talk
With the
for the
noise
next
tanks
3
controlling the
minutes or so
immortals, they
because
managed
I
to
need to
spread
focus.
their turf all the way out here. Bury all the immortals graffiti in your own paint.
And so I'm going to be reloading the level to reset the cop dialogue. This trick is in basically 3 cycles, so I'm going to do the first one now.
110番入電中、本部から各局、自暴が丘を放送中の者がいるとの通報。近い局は現場へ急行せよ。繰り返す。航空機動隊から目標捕捉。これより攻撃を開始する。林だ。ヘリをぶっ壊すなよ。航空機動隊から林警部。了解です。
Cycle 2.
110番入電中、本部から各局、自暴が丘を放送中の者がいるとの通報。近い局は現場へ急行せよ。繰り返す。航空機動隊から目標捕捉。これより攻撃を開始する。林だ。ヘリをぶっ壊すなよ。航空機動隊から林警部。
Alright, now begins the hardest part. This is the part that has to be basically perfect, so... I think I got it, but it's not over till it's over. Okay, I got it. Nice. So I just saved like, I don't know, 2-3 minutes. That's probably the hardest trick in the game, so I'm really happy I got that. So now, the cops are not spawning, so we are free to go into the level and finish up the graffiti. So that's what I'm doing.
This guy knows. This guy knows. This guy knows. He was saying how this game has the best soundtrack ever.
This is Richard Jacques. What about? No, this is Russell Simmons. What's it called? I'm Not a Bottle. That's what it's called. Great song. You should look it up. So I'm going to do what I call a scary jump, because it looks scary, but cool. Easy peasy.
You got to think so.
And that's that level. Ouch. So yeah, we're just traveling to the next level now. The skyscraper districts.
While you're getting to your next destination, Summers, I'm just gonna, a slight reminder that he's using a modded Xbox. That's why the loadings are fast, because he's loading straight off the hard drives. Also, that's why, did you notice if you haven't noticed, but there are custom graffiti in the game with the NoReset logo, our logo, and DreamHacks as well. So pay close attention to the graffiti. There's some cool stuff in there.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get sued by putting your logos in. I actually didn't think of that. But.
Jet Set Radio!
This right here is a skyscraper.
Hey, Reese,
district.
what did you say before? I
Pharaoh
couldn't hear
Park,
you.
An open-air garden built by some.
Oh, about
rich Egyptian
after you
priests
mentioned
living
this
in
phrase?
Tokyo.
Yeah?
And
Oh,
the
I hope I don't get
sanctuary
sued
of the
because
immortals.
I didn't ask
Do
you
me
to
a
put your
favor,
logos
give the
in.
immortals nasty graffiti and facelift.
I am making no money from this. This is for charity.
本部から各局
It's straight out like pure speedrunning love.
現
There's
在
no
ファローパ
endorsement
ーク付近を
or
移動中
no
近い
official
局は現
endorsement
場へ
at
急
least.
行せよ
Yeah, those guys, we wait for them to punch up. These are one of the few cockfights that we can actually sort of have a strat for because they kind of do the same thing every time.
Welcome to the slaughterhouse. Jeez.
They're all dead.
Awesome setup for that fight. That was
Yeah.
great.
I guess it kind of makes sense that they're sending like tanks and jets after us because we keep killing their guys. This is one of the cutscenes that's longer in Japanese, but the difference is still makes it that Japanese is faster overall.
In my mind, Jet Set Radio is kind of like John Connor from Terminator because it's as if Tony Hawk Pro Skater had a child with Splatoon,
Yeah,
hence
definitely.
one of the parents being from the future.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when the Splatoon games came out, there was definitely some similarities being drawn. Really? Apparently I didn't spray that. Now, this is our first death ward for this level. As you can see, there are death voids like literally everywhere in this level, so we're going to be abusing that to travel quickly. Including a very clever one over here. We go high enough to get this death warp, and that'll warp us up here. Usually I would do another death warp, but for marathon safety, I am not going to do it. I can't because if I die, the run's over. So I would like to have a bit of a buffer so that I don't end my run like a minute earlier. Because in this game, you can only have like 3 save files, so you can't really make backup saves for a lot of things. I feel like I kind of wimped out, but oh well. It's too late now. So I'm going to do a skip called Onion. Or it's not a skip, it's a clip. Whoops, I failed it. That's fine. This is why I didn't do the other death ward, because if I did that, the run would be over right now. I'm just gonna grab this just to be safe. go. It's called onion because we go through layers.
All right.
And we get this stuff work here. Grab this can pyramid here.
Quality graffiti.
Quality graffiti.
Quality. You know when the graffiti is just right.
If I had one of my hands free, I would do an okay hand, but I can't.
Look, I did it for you.
Thank you. So we're gonna death warp again to save like a second, because it's faster to get back here. Gonna grab these because I need them. And traverse these satellites. We are currently ruining people's TV reception. Need 21 cans here. Try to get some perfect shuffles. That's one. I think that was two, I'm not sure. A perfect shuffle is when you shuffle the same frame that you land so that you lose no speed. So I got one of them there and it's pretty cool. Saves like 2 frames. Please give me cans. Thank you. We don't have to use those billboards. We can just go here. Cool. So how do we get back to the beginning? Well, we kill ourselves.
The immortals have risen from their tombs
We
and
go into
showed
the
up in the
abyss.
skyscraper district.
And now
Where
we're
we
here.
get to see the immortals finally work their magic.
So because we completed all the levels in this chapter,
out.
these guys show
Or
up.
else they'll turn you into one of their own. Spray
This
the
fight is
backs
really
of those
hard and very long.
involved punks.
Oh wait, it's over. Cool.
The immortals are tearing up Highway Zero. You're on top of it, right?
Well, I always
Don't
thought
let
of
me
it
down.
like they run away to the next level, but like, I don't know. For that fight and that fight alone, you only need 6 cans. I don't know why. This is our second to last graffiti soul. I'm just gonna check. Yep, okay, we're on track. I really don't want to forget a soul and then have to go get an extra one like some sort of idiot. So this is Highway Zero. We'll be coming back here at the end of the game.
Spray your tag on the
So
back
this is
of
the
the
actual
immortal
fight.
and rescue
They
Yo-Yo.
take 12 cans each. They're pretty weak. Dude, really? So because of the wonders of the graffiti camera, she did not turn, which means I'm gonna lose some time here.
Looks like it's just one-on-one, folks.
It's okay, it's fine. Oh no, we're captured. Yo-Yo was a traitor all along.
The radio show that your parents, the PTA, and the FBI don't want you to hear. Jet Set Radio! The GGs fell for the Immortals trap, hook, line, and sinker, baby. The Immortals sure played it smooth. I mean, who would have thought that Yo-Yo would turn on his friends? Guess maybe they are royalty after all. The GGs have been hauled off to the future site of the Rukaku Expo Stadium, located just off 99th Street. The members of the noise tanks have just jacked into the power supply of the stadium, which is being built for the Rukaku Expo. I got a bad feeling that something wicked's about to go down.
So something wicked is about to go down.
Let's go!
We have been captured and we must play Deathball.
Hey!
This chapter is basically an 11-minute auto-scroller, which is always fun to get a speedrun.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And now we sit here for 2 minutes and 40 seconds. How you guys doing? Doing well. Yeah, you can just literally. So you're supposed to be doing a tutorial. Can't read Japanese. She's like, hey, let's practice like passing the ball back and forth, blah blah blah. All you have to do is pass it to her once, and then just stare at the wall, and then you wait. What? Great. I mean, look, this is a quality speedrun here. I would like to point out that this strat here is one of my contributions to this game. It's called staring at a wall. It saves 1 frame, maybe. I haven't tested it. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to show you around the level. Here's some foreshadowing. We'll be seeing this later. Do I have time to show off the clip? I don't think so. How far is it? I probably shouldn't have paused there. That actually loses real time. I think I could do it here. Wait, no, I can't. I have to do it. And I can't do it there. Okay, I have to go around here. Hopefully I have enough time to do it. Almost. You could probably see what I'm getting at here. Please. Come on, buddy. You can do it. There it is. So, fun fact, if you do this before passing the ball to Jazz, and there's a way to soft lock yourself, and if you... I don't have enough time, but if you soft lock yourself before passing the ball to Jazz, congratulations, you just soft lock the game.
Hold your seats, kiddies.
Shout out to Finger Click
everybody's favorite
for doing that.
sport.
Love you, buddy.
The game where everyone risks their lives for a shot at street style. Death Ball! And yours truly, DJ Professor K will bring you the action with live coverage from the future site of the Tokyo Rukaku Expo Stadium. Let the games begin, baby. First up, we have those hard-headed bikers, the Doom Riders versus the GGs.
Alright. So the object of this game is to, or the objective of this game is to grab the ball, and then your team has to do a full lap around the course while holding on to the ball. And if you drop the ball, then the lap resets.
No, seriously. And now they've had
So I have the ball, and I will be running away now because everyone else is very slow. And the annoying part about this is because you have the ball overrides your B button because B is throw, but the B button is also boost normally. So as long as you have the ball, you can't boost. So you have to skate normally like this. This is why you try to avoid normal skating for most of the run. We are going so fast right now. The most I can do is grind when I can and cut corners. And that one boost at the beginning before I pick up the ball. That's all we can do to speed this up. And the reason why we can't skip this part by like going out of bounds or something is because or the reason why we can't go out of bounds to make the race faster is because this race works through checkpoints to make sure that you actually go around the course properly. So if you go out of bounds, you miss the invisible checkpoints and then you get stuck. So we have to do it normally, as far as we know. So these guys are like brainwashed or something. I don't know. We never see them again.
Time time for round deuce. The bringers of the 7 plagues, the Immortals, versus the GGs, back for more.
So we are back for more, and we will be doing this 2 more times. So I'm running out of things to say about this. It's really exactly how it looks.
Damn, them Immortals are ugly. So ugly, not even the mother could love them.
So now instead of talking, you could just listen to Techno Pathetic, which is a great song. Just a shuffle. Excuse me, I did not press that button. Fun fact about this part of the game, there's actually a glitch that can happen where, if you remember what I said before about the checkpoints and why you shouldn't go out of bounds because your race marker at the bottom of your screen is going to get stuck because you missed the checkpoints. Sometimes you could do everything perfectly fine, perfectly normally, and then you'll just miss the checkpoint anyway, and you have to do an extra lap, and that wastes like a minute or so. And there's nothing you can do about it. You just have to do it. Hopefully that doesn't happen here.
Yeah, the GGs win. Those dried up punks ain't got no guts. I guess after 5,000 years, they ain't got no brains left either, know what I'm saying?
Ladies and gentlemen,
So this is the last race.
Now for round trade. The missionaries of love and death. The Love
So if you
Shocker
remember Love Shockers from the original Jet Set Radio on the Dreamcast, they are back. However, this is literally the only time we're going to be seeing them.
Starting to slow down.
So
That's got to be a part of the Noise Tank's game plan.
3, 2, 1, go!
And another thing that can happen with this game is,
Preaching a message
I don't
of
know why,
love and
sometimes
death. It's that lovable team of psychos.
you'll just lose your dashes. Dashes are in this game where if you like click the control stick quickly from when you're standing still, you'll have better acceleration than normal. But sometimes they just stop working and they only start working again when you unplug and replug your controller, which is really weird, and I have no idea why it does that. I used to, like, every time that would happen, I used to reach over, unplug, and replug my controller to get my dashes back. But it actually started to wear down my controller port. So I was like, I really don't want to get another Xbox, so I'm just going to stop doing that, and I'm going to deal with the no dashes. Because original Xboxes, which is the fastest system to run this game on, not super difficult to find, but also not easy. Excuse me. I'm a bit sick. I currently have many throat lozenges here with me so that I don't cough to the microphone.
Oh no! The game's been interrupted. They've been
Apologies.
surrounded by
I'm
the
sure that's not a
Lukaku
great
police.
on-stream.
Man, who called
Hopefully
these
that's
fools?
not again.
These party crashers are messing everything up. It would be nice if the police were just here to watch.
Good opportunity
No,
to have
they forced their way
recoil
right
on
into
number
the game.
2.
Oh man, I hope the Rudies
There
don't
we go.
blow it by losing their heads and running away.
Excuse me. So, this is one of the cutscenes that's longer in Japanese. As you can see, he literally laughs forever. It's like a good extra 45 seconds to a minute, I want to say. He just goes on and on and on and on and on.
Oh,
he's not done. He's not done.
There's nothing, no redemption for this guy. He's just like off the chart.
No, he's not done. One more thing to say.
If there ever was a truly horrifying.
There you go.
Lukaku
Yeah, there you
police's
go.
terror drone showed up
Japanese.
again. Get rid of
Truly
them for
horrifying
good this
depiction
time,
of
man.
madness in
Tell
video
you.
games, right there.
So this boss is back. And there's it.
Nice.
Just a monkey dab, which is my spray there. I don't know if you can see it because like the game literally just paints the texture on another like geometry or something, so it's kind of hard to see. But
The station that'll teach you the things your
so the
parents
auto
and teachers
scroller
are
is
too
done,
afraid
thank
to.
God.
Jet Set Radio!
Now begins the second half of the game.
Now, class, open your books to page 32. Yo-Yo's gutsy plans got messed up by those idiot Lukaku police. Has that backstabber Yo-Yo been trying to take down the GGs from the get-go? The noise tanks look pissed. They must have fried some circuits, because now they're rioting in the street. Is there anyone out there who can stop those rampaging machines?
Excuse me. So this is chapter 6, and this is what truly cements our reputation as bloodthirsty, crazy kids with graffiti, because we're going to
There's the bell. and it
destroy
looks
these
like
guys.
competitors
We have to
are
kill
already
200 of these
going
guys before the next
concrete.
level
Tell you what
opens
you
up.
do. Just run into
And
them
they're
take
like
them out.
scattered throughout all the earlier levels, so we just have to explode these guys. Really? Alright, that was a bit sloppy, but we got him. I can afford to miss a few, but not too many. Also, this is the last graffiti soul in the game that we're going to be collecting. This is number 40.
You got a great song.
So that mystery tape that we got at the very beginning of the run in the first level, that was to get that soul. Now, whoops. Alright, we're done here. There's more further back in the level, but it's just it takes too much time to get there. Also, fun fact, these noise tanks here that I'm killing are sentient. They are literally like AI, which means that this is genocide, so that's cool. Check. Anyway, we're gonna move on from that subject. Grab this blue can here. And we're off to Chuo. That text box there means that we're on track. Also, this one section of the game, it's one of two sections that they are the reasons why I do not run damageless, because it's just complete like RNG whether you take damage or not. So it's really dumb. One here, I missed, that's fine. Then, okay. Alright, so 2 more noise tank levels. So we come here because there's a lot of noise tanks like in this opening area. Wow, I just swerved that guy. Now we get out of there. And And we want to end this section on 99th Street because that's the closest place to the next level. So we want to end here. Go down here, get these guys. Cool. I didn't plan for that, but that's fine. So that last text box I got said that there were 10 left to do, so I just want to clean up these guys here. Cool. So we're done with the genocide, and now we're going to meet up with Poison Jam in Skyscraper. Because I guess now they're like our, like, you know, rivals, but like, you know, respectfully. Oh yeah, I just went through that wall so I can death work here. Should be fine. We're going to go to Sky Dinosaurian Square. Shout outs to Dino Dash, the best IL in this game.
The roars of the ancient dragons still echo throughout the playgrounds of the heavens. Sky Dinosaurian Square. Now, according to Poison Jam's info, Yo-Yo is biding his time up there. Go find him.
Alright. So this is another
Time to
crew
kick
battle.
some booty, y'all. Defeat that traitor, Yo-Yo.
Excuse me.
Hey.
It's really annoying because this level, like Skyscraper, it has a lot of places where you can void out. So if one of them falls, they're going to void out probably at the beginning of the level, way far away from me, which really sucks because I need to spray them. So hopefully I get the quick kill here. That's one.
His cover's been blown. It was nothing but an imposter. He overheated with anger. Looks like the noise tanks is behind all this.
I'm gonna manage my speed here, so I don't bump into him. Cool. Cool, and now we just need to catch up to this guy.
Looks like it's just one-on-one, folks.
Cool. So now we're going to go into Chapter 7, which has one of the most fun runs and levels in the speedrun, the Fortified Residential Zone. But first we're going to have to unlock our last character. Rip noise tanks. Press F in chat.
Super bass out of space in your face, baby. Jet Set Radio. We're kicking it live, even in the furthest reaches of the galaxy. And to all you aliens out there, I know you're planning to invade us. Whenever you're ready, just bring it on, suckers. Yo-Yo's real identity was nothing but a noise tank in disguise. And check this out. Those noise tanks were cyborgs created by Rokaku. It seems they kidnapped Yo-Yo and built a fake one to try and destroy the Gigis. And since the Rokaku police couldn't take care of the Rudies on their own, the Rokaku group is sending the Golden Rhinos, their own little secret special forces group, to tear up the streets.
Excuse me.
Golden Rhinos are a group of highly trained assassins brought together by Rokaku Goji, the ringleader of the Rokaku group and Tokyo's current mayor. Hayashi has been kicked out of his useless police organization. He's got to be freaking out by now.
Yeah, Hayashi got fired. Because he kept killing him.
The noise tanks have been wiped out. But now, the gang that got implanted with noise tanks' brainwashing chip is after the GGs. Where in the world could the real Yo-Yo be? Defeat the Golden Rhino goons and find Yo-Yo!
Alright. So we're going to be corn here because we're going to have to reload the level soon, and 1 reload is faster than 2, so we change characters immediately here so that we can change back later. So yeah, that's Clutch. He just stole all our graffiti souls, so we have to chase him down and get them back. But unlike every other character, he's actually going to be useful for the end of the game.
Seems like Clutch is hanging out at Kibogaoka Hill.
Damn it. So, something about this game that you could do that's really fast is something called a frame boost. And what a frame boost is basically is you're jumping off a rail on the same frame that you land on it. And that'll increase your speed, depending on how many frame boosts you chain, it'll increase your speed exponentially. So I tried to go for a few this run. I don't think I've gotten most of them, unfortunately. At least not any noticeable ones, but there's still a few more I can try for later. But if you grind ILs for this game, you need to get those frame boosts or else you're not gonna get a competitive time. So yeah, we just unlocked him. And now we go to the next level, which is the fortified residential zone. Also, we just got the cop fight. Oh yeah, so I skipped that cop fight there by... If you sprayed that save point the last time you were there, it's still there during the cop fight, and then you can abuse that by switching characters, reloading the level, and then that'll make the cops disappear. So I don't have to fight those guys.
When the timer runs out, this building will go.
This guy's also in English for some reason. I'm not sure why.
Fools, you continue to cling to the sad notions of camaraderie.
Once again, I had to go away and come back.
No worries, man.
But this time, I blamed the monster. This free monster is a blessing and a curse at the same time.
Yeah. I have not eaten or drank anything before this round.
Oh, it's all you can drink
Well,
until you die.
I might have to.
Free.
Spray
I have to grab one then.
and stop that timer.
Alright, so we have to switch some switches, which is all heavy movement. That's really cool.
First, spray the blue device to stop it.
Keep missing my tricks. That's slow, but whatever. So yeah, this level's home to some pretty cool jumps that I'm gonna do. We can jump straight to this switch. And then we can jump straight to the last switch, excuse me. So with perfect strats, you can do that in under a minute, but I was 3 seconds behind.
You have somehow managed to deactivate all of the blue devices. How interesting. Let's see how well you fare.
That tape player looks like it's a face.
It does.
Huge googly
yeah.
eyes.
A very noticeable face there.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna jump over here. Ah, I fell. I'll take the slow way around. Oh, I fell twice. I have to take the super slow way around. Please go where I tell you to go. Thank you. Ah, taking the outside rail. That's slow. Skip over here to the switch here. Now casually, Look at the map. This is an absolute mess. It's of no help at all. But in a speedrun, you can do this pretty quickly because it's a pretty open level.
Yeah, the first time you play through this level, you're just...
It's an absolute nightmare, yeah.
Out. Like, how am I going to get all these bombs, like, diffused in time?
Yeah. You only have half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, damn. That's a quarter of your estimate, as it were.
Yeah. So this is a jump here. To get here quickly.
But I also love this level.
Yeah, I love doing it in a run. It's really fun.
It's very fun to navigate.
Yeah.
And you can pretty much go anywhere from everywhere, so it's...
That's an in-game timer, all the good stuff. And the last switch.
There you go. You stopped the timer.
Fun fact, if you take a long time...
Man, oh man.
Cool.
Now, go
If you take a
send
long
yo-yo.
time and you spray the last switch with only like 20 seconds remaining, if the time depletes while Professor K is talking, then you're still gonna die because the timer's still going.
Heads up. You got golden rhinos incoming. I guess they didn't like you
All right,
messing with
so
the timers.
I'm gonna try
Take 'em
a quick
all
kill
out.
here. If I don't get it, it's a bit scary because these guys do a lot of damage, and if I die, like I said, end of the run. So. Cool. They're dead. Totally realistic. So now we have Yo-Yo back, which
Jet set
means
radio!
nothing because we will never
Whether
use
you're
him.
chilling in your couch or in your coffin, don't forget to tune us in to keep you company. The GGs finally found and rescued the real Yo-Yo. I think. He had heard a rumor on the streets about the golden rhinos and tried to find them by himself and ended up getting caught. Now I'm the star at the top of their black list, because I gave you the lowdown on it. This is the first time I've been on top since
Like how
the
top is in
contest
English, but the rest is
elementary school.
Japanese.
This time I've got nothing to say except it's time to get my running shoes on.
Excuse me.
And now I hear some freak that looks a lot like Beat is showing his face all over Tokyo, even for someone who likes to play a little dress up. Ain't that a bit weird? He's running around spraying some crazy graffiti. Does he have any connection to the Golden Rhino?
So we're entering the end game, or the last act of the game, basically. We're gonna have to revisit some levels, fight some more bosses. And at this point, because we're fighting so many bosses, we're actually going to not use Gum anymore. We're going to use Clutch. The thing about Clutch is that he holds 5 more cannons than anyone else. He holds 35 cans, and that's really, really useful for killing bosses quickly because you need a lot of cannons to get rid of all their health.
There ain't no superheroes to save the day in the world of the streets, baby. It's all up to you to take on the
So we're going
road for
to
yourself.
get max cannons
Looks
here.
like punks are rampaging through 20 Street. Highway 0 is in a sea of flames. Golden rhinos are laying waste to the street and showing no mercy. You gotta stop them.
All right, let's go stop them. Again, hopping here to preserve speed. Alright, so this is Claw Guy. The thing about Claw Guy is that his arms have a consistent hurt box that you cannot like boost through or anything. So sometimes it's active, sometimes it's not. Hopefully it's not, 'cause I'm about to boost into him. Cool, I got it. I'm gonna try and kill him in no cycles. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, I for sure missed this. So if you do everything perfectly, you can kill him before he flies away. Unfortunately, I missed my quick turn, so I'm going to have to wait for him to shoot his claw at me so I can grind it. Come on, buddy. Cool. He was at like 1 health, but sadly I missed it. This guy does not have long to live. Ouch. Cool. So I guess a consolation about missing that quick hill was that I now have maximum cans, which means I can boost more. So it's not a huge amount of time loss, because you can make it up by boosting more. In fact, I'm going to boost all across Shibuya. Very fast. So then the other boss that we need to fight is in Highway 0, which is through Skyscraper, which is through 99th Street. So we have a bit of traveling to do. But first we have cop fights. These cops are a bit more finicky than your normal cops because they have more health, and they also, they also stay on the ground for a shorter amount of time, which means you have less time to spray them. Another cop fight. Cool. That one's pretty easy because they don't usually travel very far before you can tackle them, so you can get them all in one group. So for this boss, she's pretty easy. You can like stun lock her by just tackling her as she's getting up, and you can keep spraying her, and then she never attacks. Like that. I think I need one more. Yeah, I need one more. That was almost good, but I wasn't fast enough. She also has not long to live.
From the direction of the Skyscraper District. My signal is fading quick. But who the hell are you, sucker? Help me! Hey, don't touch that! Get your hands! Stop! That's my stuff! Sucker, I'm warning you! Get off! Get off! Don't make me come out! Help me! Help me!
So as you can see, DJ Professor K has just been kidnapped. So we have to go save him. First I'm gonna death warp. I don't even have enough cans. I'm gonna have to get the pyramid. So he wants us to chase him into the site of Tokyo Line, which if you enter, it commences the end game. But first I need cans. There you go.
Hey, listen Listen up, the Golden Rhinos are here. They in here. Listen up, fools. I'm gonna keep broadcasting as long as I can. The Golden Rhinos brought in some sort of strange-looking machine. What is that thing? Shut that damn thing off.
So this is a train. It's an evil train. We have to kill it. It has 4 spots to spray it on. So it's just the hardest part is to keep up with it because it tries to like. Oh, that was way too early. That sucked. All right, this is a bad fight. So now I'm improvising because I can screw up the quick health. Cool. Hopefully I get cans because I'm running out. Oh, okay, that's fine. So yeah, I wasted some time there because I jumped too early and I got electrocuted, but I kind of saved it, sort of. And here's the end game.
東京の皆さん、そして世界の皆さん、こんばんは。Hello! ニーハオ。こちら DJ ビッグアーティストゴージがお届けするスペシャルフィーバーびっくりカルチャー放送六角万歳ラジオ。さてお待たせしました六角万博いよいよ本日開催です。ちょっぴりフラインだけどな。
So this is one of the cutscenes that is much faster in Japanese because as you can probably hear, he's speaking very quickly, and in English he kind of like takes his time and really goes on and on. So even though there were some cutscenes earlier in the game that are actually longer in Japanese, because of this cutscene and the one after, Japanese is the fastest version just because of the sheer amount of time saved from these 2 cutscenes. All right. Oh my god, a triple kill. As you can see, Goji also has the power over the sun because the sun is blacked out. So there's 2 more fights in the game. This one against Zero Beat that I'm going to do, and then the final boss fight. So again, they have their own quick kills, so hopefully I get them, or else I'll have to improvise. Excuse me. Okay. So we're gonna grab some cans and then we're gonna meet up with them at a certain point. That was very slow. Hopefully I get him before he jumps away too far. Alright, so I think this guy is going to get ahead of me a bit. Where is he? Here he is. Okay, it's fine. Again, a bit slow, but whatever. Oh my god, dude, come back. Okay, I'm just gonna boost. I don't care. There you go. I can refill my cans. So I screwed up both of them, but whatever. Oops, let's not leave. That would be bad.
Yeah, boy, we're kicking it live. Welcome to the new Jet Set Radio.
This dialogue also takes less time in
Wait a
Japanese.
minute. I think I'm gonna call it. Yeah, Jet Set Radio.
Alright, I'm gonna try to get the most important
And when I
clip
say
in the game.
future, I don't mean all this stuff that goes down this road. The future is one big blank slate, yo.
Come on,
And
Pickle.
it's up to you to
That's the run.
decide what goes
This trick is called
on.
pickle, by the way. I'm not just saying pickle. I didn't get it. I've only gotten it like once in my life. Oh well. So this is the last boss fight. Time is coming up. It's going to be when his health reaches 0. So when he dies, basically. What I'm going to try to do is I have to boost into him twice before he's able to take damage. So I'm going to boost twice, fall back down, replenish my cans, and then go back up and try to kill him all in one fell swoop. If I do everything correctly, I should have 1 can to spare. On pace for like a low 146 or something. So we knock these guys over to spawn blue cans, which we'll need in a bit. Shout out to Grace and Glory, one of the best songs in the game.
Yep. Also, that last level is trippy as hell.
Yeah. Boost.
It embodies the whole game. It's crazy.
Alright, so now we fall back down, get our cans, and we're gonna boost into him and then kill him. Where the cans land is RNG. They landed in a good spot that time, so I didn't have to waste any time by running around. Alright. Alright. Time is coming up when he dies. And time.
Yeah! Woo!
Mid for 146, not bad.
I mean, marathon run, I believe you used a lot of safe strats. There was some pretty dangerous stuff that you didn't risk, but I mean...
yeah, stuff happened where I would reset, but this is no reset, so...
There you go.
Can't do it.
But out of a 2-hour estimate, I mean, we had some...
Yeah, 2 hours was like if literally everything went wrong, but I got most stuff,
but
especially heli skip.
That's how you're supposed to estimate for a marathon, so I mean, kudos to you for that. And you've effectively caught up with the lateness we had because of the internet outage earlier, so that's good.
There you go.
All right, so it was amazing. Like I said, this is one of my favorite games ever. I'm absolutely in love with the soundtrack. I know in chat that was one of the recurring points, the soundtrack. And I see that a lot of people were surprised to see this game. So I'm glad we included it. I'm really glad you did submit it. And as soon as I seen it, we were doing selections. I'm like, this gets a free pass. I don't get it. It's like the worst runner in the world. We're getting Jet Set in. They're like, oh yeah, he's like second on the leaderboards right now. I'm like, yeah, green light that. Let's go. Let's do it. And I was super hyped ever since we did the list for that run. So I'm glad I was on the couch, even if I wasn't as useful as I should have been. Unfortunately, running this thing does not take a break, even if I'm
no worries, dude. And this marathon was in my neighborhood, so easy for me to show up.
Well, I hope you enjoyed yourself on the stream, because I know everyone watching and backstage, up front, they did as well. So everyone, let's hear it for Suprix one more time.
Thank you. Hope you guys enjoyed the run, and hope you enjoy the rest of the marathon. Thank you.